This is ABC 7 News.
It's an element of human error, but what we can do is reduce the likelihood of it.
Lethal versus non-lethal force. Weapon confusion does happen. But what if there were a way to reduce the risk? A Northern California police officer has created a device he believes will do just that. Tonight, the I-Team takes a look. Good evening, I'm Ahmed Dates.
And I'm Dan Ashley. Thanks for joining us. Pulling a gun or a taser is obviously a split-second decision sometimes for police, and a mistake could have deadly consequences.
ABC 7 News I-Team reporter Melanie Woodrow spoke to a police officer who created Primary Guard, a tool he believes could prevent accidental deaths.
In two shootings more than a decade apart, police officers have said they confused their gun for their taser.
The 2021 incident with Dante Wright, we have to keep that important. You know, we have to keep the incident that happened in 2009 with Oscar Grant. We have to keep that important.
Joe Vegas is a designated Level 1 Reserve police officer with the Winters Police Department.
Weapon confusion is as tragic as, as it is complex.
Vegas created Primary Guard, a device that attaches to an officer's taser, restricting access to what's known as the primary or dominant side that an officer would use to fire his or her duty weapon.
We believe we can reduce the likelihood of weapon confusion.
Following the passage of AB 1406, California law requires that a police officer holster an electronic control device, commonly called a taser, on the opposite side of the body that the officer's primary firearm is holstered. This is usually referred to as the support side or non-dominant side, but not all departments practice a support side carry, support side draw for tasers. Winters Police Department Chief of Police John Miller.
There's also many agencies that still authorized under California law to do what's called a cross draw.
To where they cross over and they are still using the primary and dominant hand to deploy the taser, the same hand that is used to deploy or control the firearm.
Vegas says some officers will support side draw their taser and pass it to their dominant hand. He believes also creating the possibility of weapon confusion and the added danger of having to drop the taser or pass it back to their non-dominant hand if they need to draw their firearm.
What Primary Guard is aiming to do is create exclusively the holstering and the control with the non-dominant hand.
We're going to field test it, and actually I'm very proud that he engaged us to try the device out.
Yolo County's district attorney.
If Primary Guard is adopted by peace officers and it's used in a way that people agree does not interfere with the performance of their job, then the question that I would have as a DA in reviewing any future use of force cases, why didn't you have it?
Vegas says if an officer's non-dominant hand were injured, the officer could bypass Primary Guard.
Primary Guard can be bypassed by lifting it up there. We would absolutely love to encourage those agencies and those officers that are currently using their primary or their dominant hand to try Primary Guard.
In an emailed statement to ABC 7 News, the president of the Peace Officers Research Association of California wrote in part, quote, "We are open to new technologies if properly tested to ensure practical, real-world effectiveness." Vegas says his idea stemmed from the training his dad gave him. Richmond police officer Gus Vegas was killed while off duty when he intervened in a domestic dispute involving his daughter and grandson's father inside his Vallejo home.
He impressed upon me the importance of training, and I think he'd be proud.
Primary Guard is $19.99, but Vegas says for now he's giving the device to some police departments to test out for free. In the newsroom for the I-Team, Melanie Woodrow, ABC 7 News.